if people have a lion part, do you think that is formed partially from the society, how you're treated, how your sort of sense of self forms, whether you want, you start to want a lot of praise from people, things like that.
Mm, mm. Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, I guess I look at it as, when we're born, there's some sort of true essence to ourselves. And I
Mm,
think I'm gonna guess, I'm not really, I'm gonna try and speak from my own experience, but I'm gonna guess that this is going to line up with the teachings of George Gurdjieff, who I
mm,
am interested in. He's a Armenian mystic taught in Russia around after World War One, right before the Russian Revolution. So I've spent a lot of time studying his work. I haven't actually done much practice in groups and things, so I can't claim any kind of expertise. But he had a system, a structure, and I think I'm probably going to fall into that. So, um, homage aside, um, that there's sort of something we come into the world with, and and then we meet the world with it, and we find that it doesn't quite naturally fit into the world in a normal way. So then we have to compensate, you know. Um, I guess in some trauma theory, I'm thinking Gabor Mate off the top of my head is I think probably where I heard this, but the idea that when we're born we have two drives, and one is the drive to authenticity, to express ourselves authentically and be genuine. I want a thing, I'm going to go and get it. And not even like I must have it, but just like a child toddling towards like a toy that they like. Like they just go for
mm,
it. They don't think about it. They're genuinely following their desires. And
mm,
then the other side is the need for connection. And especially as a human, we're very weak as children. We're not able to defend ourselves. We're very dependent. And
mm,
so almost always connection will win out over authenticity when there's some
mm,
sort of a friction between the two. Because
mm,
as much as we might want to do a thing, if we think we're going to be abandoned by our parents or get in very big trouble or yelled at, then we won't, and we'll suppress that part of ourself. And then you get all the neurotic outplays that suppression can bring.
mm,
And we kind of hang on to that connective self, and then we start to think that there's a an animosity between the two, that
mm,
we can't ever have connection. This might be a little bit too revealing of my own psychological issues, but we think we can't ever have connection and authentically be ourselves.
mm,
When really they're just like the horses you're talking about. They're, one is kind of going after our aims and our goals, and the other one is finding a way to do that that doesn't alienate us from society.
mm,
Um, so I can see the lion being sort of the authentic part, the sort of, roar. I am
mm,
myself. Um, and I can see the rational part being at least somewhat, well, I have to get along with all these people, so I might as well not rock the boat.
mm,
But in both of those cases, I sort of feel a lack of an acknowledgement of the values of belonging and of community and of sort of the energy that can build in a group that is cohesive and loving towards each other,
mm.
you know. I suppose you could sort of lump that in under the lion, what with the like the political and the sort of social element of it.
Mm.
But yeah, like where does love come in? Where does care come in?
Mm.
Um, Compassion, you know. Maybe they didn't feel the need to explain that. Maybe that was obvious back to the Greeks in a way that
Mm.
we're a little alienated from. I'm not sure. Um, but yeah.